And I think we are live. Hello all YouTubers, I am the Weather Dude. Welcome back. We have our catastrophic Hurricane Sally live coverage here for today's live stream. So hopefully you guys enjoy. And yes, very serious issue that we're dealing with here. Hurricane Sally is inching ever so slightly closer to the Gulf Coast. It may not even make landfall until tomorrow morning, maybe even later than that. And Jones RJ and Matrix are here. Hello guys, how are you guys doing today? Yes, there is certainly a lot to talk about here with catastrophic Hurricane Sally. Now, don't let the 80-mile-per-hour winds fool you. Let me just say that coming out of the gate here, let me just say that don't let the 80-mile-per-hour winds fool you, because the rainfall is going to be the biggest threat. Okay, it's going to be the biggest threat with the storm system. And Jones RJ says, did you see my video recapping Apple event? Actually, I did. I have to go back because I was a little busy earlier, but I definitely have watched it, and it was very interesting because, you know, times are different. So the Apple event was still nice to see the Apple event. All right. Anyway, so going into today's video, first we're actually taking a look at the satellite imagery. So let me put it on play here, and yeah, it's a huge storm. Now, even though it's a Category 1, the wind field of this storm system is huge. Okay, so we have chances for tropical storm force winds, okay, several miles out from where the storm will be coming on shore. All right, so let's actually pull this up, and you can see where the convection is. All right, actually, most of it is on the, well, right now we're seeing actually some convection on the south side, but we're seeing more convection blossom on the north side again, some very intense convection. All right, so the landfall will probably be around Gulf Shores, Alabama, kind of around that region. But Pensacola is going to get hit very hard as well. We're talking about storm surge values. You'll be seeing that coming up. They could be well over a few feet. So you have a few feet of water coming in from the Gulf of Mexico. It could even be more than that. And then we're talking about 20 plus inches of just rainfall. So this is going to be a very serious situation here. Hopefully everyone is evacuated. Not quite. I'm pretty sure mandatory evacuations were put in place. So I hope you guys, I hope whoever does live down there is hopefully evacuated, because we have tropical storm warnings for even the eastern coast, as far west as the eastern coast of Louisiana. We even have tropical storm warnings going just near, might even include Apalachicola. All right. And Jones RJ says, how many weather cabals would it take to kabab hurricane? I don't know. I'd say a lot. All right. If you watched our live weather discussions with Jones RJ, you would probably get that reference. And yes, I'd say a lot, because this storm is very powerful. In terms of rainfall, I would say, I would say it almost rivals Harvey. It won't get nowhere near the rainfall that we saw with Harvey, but it's gonna rival it. Okay, it's gonna get to very serious levels. So just think about this. Think about, like I always tell you guys about Tropical Storm Allison in 2001. The storm had barely gotten the tropical storm strength, right? It only had, we only had like 40-mile-per-hour winds. Yet the rainfall was like 20, 30, 40 inches, and that's what made Allison so think about it like this. All right, and this is a Category 1 hurricane. And Ika and April are here, so hello, how are you guys? All right. And yes, we have one more hurricane name left. I can't believe we have Teddy and we have Vicky too. So there's a lot to talk about in the tropics. This is overwhelming. Anyway, and we have tropical storm. Even a tropical storm could still be in place even as it tracks through Alabama. All right. And to those of you who are watching, please consider sharing this video with your friends as well if you haven't already, especially if they're in the path of the storm, because it's going to be very serious, okay? It's a very serious storm we have in our hands. Now, the only good thing, now I know it's a very bad thing when hurricanes move slow because there's a lot of rainfall. The only positive I can think of a storm moving this slow is that once it does come on shore, the wind speeds will weaken very quickly. So it may not even make it through Alabama as a tropical storm. It might weaken to a depression by then. So hopefully that is the case, because hopefully when we have some the weaker winds as this moves on shore, hopefully that is the case. But still, hurricane warnings are in effect. This is a very serious storm system. All right. And yes, there may be buffering. This usually happens all the time. Hopefully, I'll try and see if I can reboot something, but hopefully it'll be okay. So taking a look at the tropical storm force winds, obviously we pretty much know that a lot of areas are going to see tropical storm force winds, but look how huge of an area this is. I mean, we have at least a 5% chance for tropical storm force winds going all the way back into central Louisiana, and we're talking about northern Mississippi, northern Alabama. Mike Chaser, thank you so much for the donation. Thank you, and I'm glad you enjoyed the videos. All right, thank you so much, and as you can see here, hopefully you guys, Hurricane Sally is a very serious storm system here. This is one to be taken very seriously. Even like let me just go through the names of all the states that are going to be impacted by this. We're talking about Louisiana. We're talking about Mississippi. We're talking about Alabama. We're talking about Florida, Georgia, even South Carolina, North Carolina, maybe even possibly Tennessee. All right, into the parts of the Mid-Atlantic. Okay, even into late week into the weekend. So, wow. Okay, there's a lot. As I told you guys, there's a lot of states going to be impacted by this. And remember how I said like the wind field is kind of growing with the storm system? This has a huge wind field. Look how narrow we have, like a more narrow area when the storm was forming back in Florida, and look how much wider it kind of acts like a cone, right? So that's taking until the wind field of the storm is really growing, and we've had tropical storm force winds bashing the coast already. All right, so this is again a very serious storm system.